Today's topic is usury in sports. What a topic and a timely one. Now, Jamaica has traditionally had a love and a culture of track and field. And it's not only the matter relating to Usain Bolt and Merlin Otti, goes back far beyond that to Donald Quarry, Roden, Herb McKinley. No, but what we do know is that athletes in Jamaica, substantially at the secondary level or the high school level, participate in boys champs at one point and girls champs, and with the combination of boys and girls champs at the same event. Now, substantially, those persons who are participants in boys and girls champs work themselves over months, weeks in order to prepare for that event. Sorry. These athletes are not compensated substantially for the name, their image, and likeness, which I'm going to after, which is referred to as NIL in the United States, particularly in college football or in college sports. Now, I'm going to ask you to do some reading on this matter because it's serious stuff we want to address. Parks 2022 wrote an article on what is NIL in college football, allowing players to make money for the first time. And NCSA 2021 has an article on name, image, and likeness rule that we want to sort of examine in this discussion today. Boys and girls champs are normally done by persons who are between 11 years old and say 20 years old. Now, these young ladies and gentlemen, for a lengthy period of time, prepare themselves to compete at the culminating event of Boys and Girls Championship at the National Stadium each year. These individuals who participate in track and field at the college level that I'm speaking of today are rarely, if ever, compensated financially for what they are doing. And what is certain at Boys and Girls Championships, that thousands and millions of dollars are made by ISA yearly. Guess still, the persons who work hard to ensure that this is done or that this is the money is made by ISA really are compensated for their efforts. I'm not saying that we should actually go and actually distribute monies or money to children, but I'm saying that their families can be compensated for whatever they are doing. The matter is simple. Boys and girls championships cannot exist without the contribution, efforts, work, and toil of these athletes. These athletes are the product on which boys and girls championship is based, and not ISA. Therefore, when ISA make these thousands and millions of dollars each year, what is given to the athletes for their contribution or the product that they would have actually given on that day or those days of the championship? The product is a medal, a gold medal, or for the team, a trophy. That cannot substantiate or that should not be used as a measure to say, listen, that is a contribution that the athletes have actually done. These athletes need to eat. And yes, I agree that the schools may provide them with lunch, etc. And ISA might be by extension is actually awarding these schools money for their contribution to the sport. That is not what I'm discussing. I'm discussing that these athletes are the product of boys and girls championship and therefore must be numerated as such. When an individual attends boys or girls champ as an athlete, people are coming up to see these named individuals, the image of these individuals, and the likeness of these individuals participating, which is referred to as NIL in the United States. These persons' contribution to the day's event or day's events is the reason why persons go and buy tickets and actually enter these events. Therefore, my argument is simple. At the Boys and Girls Championship, ISA should ensure that these young men and women and children be awarded some compensation for their efforts on the day. ISA is making millions of dollars yearly at the Boys and Girls Championship event. And at the same time, the athletes get little or nothing for their contribution. Remember carefully that the product of Boys and Girls Championship is the athlete's name, image, and likeness, and therefore they must be compensated in some form. I am not sure what the compensation ought to be, but what I do know that the ISA should contemplate a strategy and approach of how these boys and girls are awarded for the product that they have actually done and used and make at these events. ISA, the time has come for you to look at rewarding or compensating boys and girls who participate at the Boys and Girls Championship. The Boys and Girls Championship is not the product. The product is the name, image, and likeness of the athletes. Their contribution to Boys and Girls Championship is what makes the event or the day's championship what it is. And therefore, they must be compensated within that context. For the boys and girls who have toiled for years, months, days, weeks, their contribution cannot be simply to be champion boy or the most prestigious or the most accomplished athlete of the day, or to be crowned the champion for the boys' championship or the girls' championship. ISA must take into consideration that the product of which I speak is the individuals, and therefore they must be rewarded for making a contribution to the event, and therefore their contribution must be paid for in some form. How this should be done, I'm not aware. I'm not sure of what should be done in terms of actual compensation or to how much the compensation ought to be. However, a discussion must ensue to ensure that we begin to pay athletes for the contribution they make or the product they make at Boys and Girls Championships yearly. Those are my views. What do you think? Like, share, and subscribe to this channel as I will continue to provide you trusted truth and information. Let us look at how we are dealing with each other in Jamaica and stop usury in sports.